What's up, guys, and welcome back to The Real Talk. And moving along with Spider-Man Week, we have the review for 2004's film, Spider-Man 2. Check it out.
I want a life of my own. I'm Spider-Man. No more.
You look different.
I let things get in the way before. There was something I thought I had to do. I don't have to.
I like seeing you tonight, Peter.
Now on to the main event.
Octavius is going to put Oscorp on the map in a way my father never even dreamed of.
Alright, guys, so this cast again consists of Tobey Maguire, Kirsten Dunst, Alfred Molina, James Franco, and J.K. Simmons. And it's obviously directed again by Sam Raimi. And guys, to be perfectly honest with you guys, I did see this movie in theaters. And when I saw it though, I was kind of like, you know, I like the action scenes. But this was back when I was a kid. But growing up, after the third one, before the third one, I started to appreciate this film more and more and more. And now it's held as one of the best superhero movies of all time. And I cannot agree more. And with every near perfect film, guys, there is some negatives. And I don't want to repeat myself from the first one. But it is kind of cheesy in the dialogue again. It is dialed down though. A lot. And it's just like here and there. And I noticed it, and that's the problem, that I've noticed it. And my second and last negative to this movie, guys, is the flow and pacing in the middle of the movie. They were trying to balance Doc Ock's story and Peter's story a bit too much. They kept going back and forth, and then there was this long period of time where it was like Peter's story, and then a little bit like this one little scene of Doc Ock, and then back to Peter's story. And I was like, they could have put that and added it to the next Doc Ock scene and make it a little bit longer instead of just like cut. You know, it took me out of the movie, and that's why I had to mention it. But that was my last negative, so let's move on to the positives. Starting with my positives, I have to mention Sam Raimi. I feel like he did such an incredible job with this movie and taking what he built in the first one and just expanding it tenfold, you know? He did such a great job with the acting, the fighting scenes, with the villain, and just these character arcs. And everything I'm about to talk about, it's all credit to Sam Raimi. So, good job, sir. Speaking about the acting, everybody brought their A game once again, guys. Tobey Maguire, Kirsten Dunst, James Franco, and Alfred Molina. I feel like Sam Raimi gives a lot to his villains, like, to do in this movie, other than just being a villain, giving them characters and motivations. And man, just like that scene where he's talking to Peter with his wife about poetry and stuff like that, just that scene alone makes you care about like his wife and that relationship. So when everything starts to happen, like, you feel for them, and then obviously he goes bad and stuff like that. And once again, he's going about it the wrong way, but you still like feel sympathy for them. But then again, not too much. And that's what I love that Sam Raimi does with his villains. Kirsten Dunst had a lot to do in this movie. I love what they did with her character, and I know she gets a lot of slack for her role, but I liked it. And James Franco, like I said in the first one, I love his arc within the whole three movies, and I'm going to talk more about it in the third one. And Tobey Maguire, my favorite Spider-Man, like I said in the first one again, my Spider-Man review. He just embodies what I think Peter is, and in this movie especially, man, like, he goes through some rough patches in this movie, so he did a great job in portraying that. So that's all I gotta say about that acting. I can't forget about J.K. Simmons though. Every time he comes on screen, I'm just laughing. Like, everything that comes out of his mouth, I'm just dying. Like, he's just so perfect for this role. I hope he comes back for Spider-Man Homecoming. I don't care if it creates like continuity errors. I bring him back. If there's anybody to bring back, is him. Please. And going on with the story and the growth of these characters, I feel like I have to mention this because I feel like that's what makes this movie not only one of my favorite superhero movies, but one of my favorite films of all time in general. I said it before, Sam Raimi does a great job in expanding what he built in the first one and just building upon it and just adding to this story and to these characters and to the arcs, and especially obviously with Peter Parker. It's not only because he has struggles that I feel like this movie works, it's because of what those struggles mean to him. He's having an internal battle, and I feel like that's his biggest enemy to date. And Sam Raimi did a good job exploring that. You know, you have this scene with everybody's there. James Franco, Harry Osborn, Peter Parker, and Mary Jane, and Peter's there to take pictures and stuff like that. And then Harry comes up to him, you know, they have an argument, he gets slapped and stuff like that, and literally right after, he turns around and finds out that Mary Jane got married. He's like, what the heck, like, what else could go wrong for this guy? But that's where you see him struggles, like, man, I really tried to be Spider-Man. I really tried to listen to Uncle Ben with his great line. And I can't have my own life. I can't be happy. I'm losing my best friend. I'm losing the girl of my dreams. And I feel like that was explored so well. And Sam Raimi, again, did an amazing job. And that's why I love this movie so much. And I cannot forget about this one. I feel so bad for leaving it out in my first review. But that's the music, guys. The score to this movie is amazing. Danny Elfman has to be praised. He creates a theme, guys. Marvel, MCU, listen up. The theme of Spider-Man. And then you remember the movies from this theme. You remember these sort of action scenes. And he does an incredible job in the second one, adding Doc Ock's theme with the main theme and just, making you, feel like you're in a Doc Ock scene and stuff like that. And that's an incredible thing to do. And it's a very important thing to do. And Danny Elfman knocked it out of the park. Overall, I love this movie, guys. And it's not only a near perfect superhero film, but in my opinion, it's a near perfect film overall. And if it wasn't for the negatives, I would give it a different score. But with that being said, I have to give Spider-Man 2 a 9.5 out of 10, guys. If you guys not seen it, which I'm pretty sure you have, I highly recommend it. And fun fact, it's actually my third favorite superhero film of all time. Behind, well, I'll save that video for another date. But again, if you have not seen Spider-Man 2 or you want to revisit it, please do yourself a favor and check it out. So let me know your thoughts on the film in the comment section down below. And if you have not seen my Spider-Man 1 review, it's up on my channel. And check back later today for my Spider-Man 3 review. And check back tomorrow for my Spider-Man Homecoming review. I know it's a lot of Spider-Man, but that's why it's Spider-Man week here at The Real Talk. And speaking about The Real Talk, you guys can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at The Real Talk, Talk with 2 Ks. And as always, I'll see you at the movies. Later, guys.